You know, if it were possible, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have managed to drop themselves right in it once again. And of course, one could understand exactly how this has escalated so very quickly. As ever, let me explain. Hi, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for your time today. By the way, can I just share the fact that so many of you had a lot of memories about our recent video where I just sort of mentioned the fact that on that particular day, it was the free concert in Hyde Park of the brilliant Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger and co. And yeah, a long time ago, obviously, as you can imagine. But it's funny, isn't it, how those moments really sort of do pivot and everybody remembers them. Even if you didn't go, you've heard about it and stuff like that. It's the Woodstock stuff, isn't it? You know, do you think we'll have the same thing in years to come? Will it be the same, say, with Glastonbury and stuff like that? Maybe it's a generation thing. Maybe people will look back and think, I was there when I saw Shania Twain, or I was there when X was there. You know what I mean? That type of thing. It's fascinating stuff, isn't it, when you look at it in the bigger picture. Now, one of the problems, as you can imagine, that Meghan and Harry are engulfing themselves with is completely negative PR. They've got this brand new team, these two people that have got this unenviable task of trying to turn them into positive people. And it's very difficult when whatever they do is turned into a negative, whether it be attacking the British media, whether it be Meghan's, very terrible relationship with her family, and more importantly, her 80-year-old father, while making a program all about food, friendship, and of course just getting along in life. Doesn't exactly sit well, does it? But of course, earlier this year, Meghan and Harry decided to launch over in Canada their next year's Invictus Games, big fanfare, and a lot of people said it was all about them and not necessarily about the veterans. It's a difficult thing, because without them, some people might say, would the cameras be as interested? Not defending, I'm just saying this is how media works, They all want to pick apart what she's wearing, whether he looks miserable, all of that sort of stuff. Where it gets interesting for me though is now, as you know, a lot of people were suggesting that what may have swayed a lot of people's attention, particularly for backers and supporters and sponsors, would have been the arrival of at least one of these two. That's right, Prince Archie or Princess Lily, the invisible children that nobody really sees or hears of, because they've decided that they don't want that sort of life for their children. So it makes this particular headline, which has been confirmed, all the more rather baffling. You see, as Harry and Meghan have decided that they're going over to Vancouver, apparently there's going to be some sort of family event where they think this will be ideal for their children. That's right, to go over to Canada and visit and enjoy or partake in certain elements of the Invictus Games, a family spirit. Now here's where it gets really tricky, because this is the problem. And a similar problem happened to the Princess of Wales recently, because the British Army inadvertently claimed that she was going to be attending the Trooping of the Colour. And that was way too early, as we then found out. Thankfully she did, of course, attend, but that was a different idea. Now what's happening over here, particularly for the Invictus Games Canada, is the marketing people, as ever we have to say allegedly, are keen to seize on this. Could they confirm that this is going to be happening? Will the children be coming? Because they feel sure that they will sell far more tickets and have a far more higher response if that was the case. People would be fascinated to see the royal children up front, if you like, with their parents. Imagine the silence, as one could imagine, from Montecito. Things have gone a little bit quiet, and there was no confirmation, and no, they'd love to, but we're going to see. I'll throw it out there and say that will never really happen. But it's a nice deflection of course, some terrible PR going on currently with the Pat Tillman Award and ESPN, as one can imagine. They still believe, like royal people do, or Harry does, that mention the children and people will forget the negative PR. The trouble is, if you mention them, people remember, and if you don't deliver, they remember that also. Now, do you think the royal children will be attending the Invictus Games in Vancouver next year? Over to you. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.